Hi friends, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Charlie. I'm glad you're here, and today I want to give you everything you need to know for college. 4.5 years ago I started looking at college advice videos because I needed to decide which college I want to go to, if I want to go to college, and I felt like I only got sugar-coated advice, and because of that I want to give you the real tea today. Everything I wanted to know before I started college you're gonna get now. First of all, before we start, my name is Charlie. I just handed in my bachelor thesis. I went to college for 4.5 years now. I studied dual, I switched majors, I transferred college. I basically been through it all. So trust me, you can make it, and everything is doable when you have the right mindset and you love what you're studying. The first thing I ask myself is college better than high school? I made a whole video about the college experience and if I think it's true or not. I can link it in the eye. And the big question is, what makes college different from high school? I felt like college was better than high school, but not always perfect, of course. But not always perfect, of course. I wasn't a big fan of high school, if I'm honest, because I always tried to fit in, to find new friends, to don't appear weird to everybody else, try to get the grades I wanted to get and still be the cool one, kind of. And in college it was completely different for me. I had more freedom. I feel like there were fewer cliques. You just clicked with the right people or you didn't. But in college I feel like there isn't as much group building as there is in high school. In high school you have the cool kids and the nerdy kids and everything in between, and you kind of get cliques through sports, etc. And in college you just click with people and become friends with them, and you don't get into these group settings so much. Especially for me, when I was studying, I got along with everyone and made friends along the way, and now I have a friend group, but it isn't like a clique where you can't get into. And another thing that is way better in college than it is in high school, the people are more chill and independent. I feel like in high school there are some people that are not as chill, are always on their feet and always on the go. You also have that at college, but the people are just a little bit more relaxed. They care less about a lot of things, and you kind of have to be independent when you are at college because you have to care for yourself, and that makes the people a lot easier to go with than in high school. One thing that is kind of a little bit more stressful about college is that you have to advocate for yourself. You have to check in for yourself, you have to do your homework because no one's checking in for you. You have to do it all by yourself, and your professors don't really care if you do it or not, but you have to hand in your stuff to get through college. Another thing that I like more about college than I liked about high school is that you have more space to grow, to change, and to find your people. I feel in high school you're kind of stuck. You go through everything with everyone at the same time and you're not growing as much. I felt like in high school the most growing part happened in the senior year, and that's it. And in the 4.5 years of college I've grown a lot. I've become way more independent. I know what I want. I know what I want from my friends. I know how to advocate for myself. I know how I can keep myself accountable, and I feel like I've become a whole nother person since I started college to now. I changed a lot, and also kind of nothing at all. I'm still the same person, but I developed a lot. The second thing I wish I knew sooner is how to stay motivated, especially when you're tired or over it. In college there comes and goes the time of motivation, and sometimes you just don't want to do another task for college because sometimes it can get a lot. But what helped me a lot with that is setting mini goals, like just get through class or reward yourself after studying. Check off one task of your to-do list, and sometimes that will just keep it running, and sometimes it's also enough to just wake up go to class, go back to your apartment, your dorm, and sometimes that's the whole day, and that's also okay. What also helped is to romanticize your routine a little bit more than you would normally do, especially if you are in a rut, kind of. Get your iced coffee, iced matcha, the cold beverages. Have playlists ready for morning routines, for studying, for your night routines, for your walk to college, and find your why. Remember why you started, remember why you're studying what you're studying, and maybe just visualize it. For example, I know exactly what I want to do with my degree. I always have that in the back of my head. Beginning of college, at the beginning of college, I had kind of the same plan, but it was a little bit different. And now I know exactly where I want to go and exactly where I want to be and what I'm working towards. And that helps a lot with staying motivated in college. I also made a video about how to stay disciplined. I can link that in the eye as well, because I feel like that is one of the hardest parts of being in college, that you have to show up for yourself and that you have to be disciplined almost on a daily basis, because otherwise college can be really overwhelming. When you are in a college where you have to do your own timetable, picking classes can be really hard. I know that. I've been there. At my first university, I had to do my timetable all by myself, and in this 1 year I figured out a lot of things that you can look at if you want to. And in that 1 year I figured out some tips that you can integrate in picking your classes so that your life is a little bit easier. First tip is to check your professor reviews, because what others say about your professors matters, because if they all have bad experiences with this one professor, stakes are pretty high that you will have the same experience with that professor. And if there is another professor that does the same class, pick the other professor so that your life gets a little easier. If you can, balance your schedule. Don't stack 3 intense courses together on the same day back to back, because after that day you just want to fall in bed. Spread them out a little bit. Do one on Monday, one on Wednesday, one on Friday, or Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, but don't put them all together, because and then your brain just doesn't want to function anymore after the first class. And if it is possible for you in your college degree and what you study, mix subjects you enjoy with your requirements. Your requirements are the things you need to do for your degree, and you can take other classes that you just find interesting so that you don't burn yourself out with all the hard classes and you have something that you love. I can tell you, people are welcoming if you put yourself out there. You can join clubs, study groups, volunteer, because even awkward convos sometimes lead to great friendships. And believe me, everyone's nervous and everyone wants to find friends at college. And it's also okay if it doesn't happen in the first semester, and it's okay if you need a little longer. My best friend I found in college, got to know in college. That's what I wanted to say. We didn't talk for the first semester because we also had online classes, and in the second semester we started talking because of a group project, and since then our friendship just got better and better and we got closer to each other, and now she's basically one of my best friends and I can tell her everything. And that's how that friendship started, because of a group project we had to do for class where we got thrown into the same group. So be welcoming yourself and go through college with an open mindset, because sometimes the people you don't recognize you and you become good friends. There are some outfit staples I've actually worn a lot. Comfy jeans, cute oversized sweatshirts, neutral basics you can mix and match, a presentation outfit, and good sneakers for walking everywhere are a must. But I don't say switch up your whole closet. Just wear something that you're comfortable in and that is comfortable through the whole day. I basically transferred my whole closet when I started at the second college, but that's also because I started working in marketing and got into a corporate job, so I had to dress a little bit different than I dressed in high school, so I kind of stacked up my closet a little bit, but it's not a must. Wear what is comfortable to you and wear shoes that are good for walking. College kind of also helped me find my style a lot, so the key answer to what is your staple outfit is wear what is comfortable to you. Look on Pinterest, which helped me a lot for inspiration, and just see where your go-to college wardrobe is gonna take you. One key element for college is to stay organized. I already said that in the beginning. What I used was a digital calendar. I basically just used my phone for that. I used my Apple Calendar for all my finals. I just put them in there with a different color so that I know that, to track my deadlines. I also tracked my classes in my Apple Calendar, and when I had something work related coming up, I also put that in there. If you want how to stay organized in college video, you can comment it down below. I would love to film that for you. Then I can give you in detail tips, because if I would do that now, this video would be a lot longer. I also color coded my subjects at first. I basically took my notes on my MacBook and on my iPad, and I had a folder for every class, and I would recommend you to do the same, because then you will find your notes straight away and you know where everything is. Trust me, with that you will thank me later when you start studying for your exams. And the last thing I did to stay organized is check-ins at every other weekend, where I checked my notes, where I looked through everything, figured out what I need to get done, figured out in which class I'm kind of behind, and got back to where I wanted to be, and that helped a lot with staying organized. Another thing I know a lot of people have issues with are oral presentations. And I can tell you they are not as bad as they seem at first. Take it from me, I hated presentations and now it's my job. It's easy to overthink them, and I know that, but you don't need to panic. You just have to practice them a few times out loud, look through your notes, because that builds confidence and your audience knows and gets a different kind of vibration from you when they feel that you know what you're talking about. And when you're standing in front of the class, always remember people are too focused on themselves to judge you. For example, when I was sitting in my classes and other people had their oral exams and it wasn't my turn, I thought about my own presentation and I didn't listen to them, because their grade doesn't matter to you, and the same goes for them. They don't think about you or your presentation longer than they need to, because they have their own assignments and their own presentations, and your professors aren't there to punish you. They are there to give you your grade, and that's their job. I know that there are professors that can be a little bit tricky, but just stop thinking about that when you start presenting. Another tip that I love: start strong, speak slow, and breathe. You've got this, you can do it. You know what you put on your presentations and you know what you're talking about, and even if you don't, fake it till you make it. Most of the people don't see if you are talking about a topic because you know the topic completely, or if you're just talking about it because you have to. But it's important that you stand in front of them with some kind of confidence and speak slowly and breathe. Make the space in front of the class your space. Do what makes you comfortable. Wear something you feel confident in, which helps a lot with presentations, because if you feel confident, you give that energy, and then the presentation is the easy part. The things I loved using for studying, preparing my presentations, and basically get anything done for college is the Pomodoro method. I love that. I also use it sometimes when I'm in the office. 25 minutes of focused work, and I mean focused. Put your phone away, put every distraction away. 25 minutes are only for the task, and 5-minute breaks. In these 5 minutes, you can do whatever you want. I don't care. But the other 25 minutes, you are focused and you don't get distracted. And that helps a lot, because you have the 25 minutes where you have to focus, 5-minute break, which gives your head a break, and then you can go back into it, and you do that 4 times, and after that you get half an hour break, and then you just repeat that. Another thing I loved is teaching the material to others. It sticks better that way. The moment you start talking about a topic like you already know it, your brain kind of does its thing with learning it in that way, especially if you are explaining it to someone, because I explained a lot of college stuff to my boyfriend because he has nothing to do with the whole marketing sector. And when I started explaining it to him, I kind of explained it to me as well, which made the whole learning process a lot easier, because I understood it, because I was telling him what I needed to do and needed to learn and needed to understand. And another tip is make studying a vibe and not a dreadful task. I always have snacks, when I write my essays, I always listen to music, and my notes from class always looked a certain way so that I wanted to look at them, which made it a lot easier. But the most important thing about studying and how you can actually start studying the best for you is finding out what your studying type is. I know there are a lot of videos about that already, and there are some tests about it. At my first college, the campus was huge, and at my second college, it was just one building, so I kind of just had to look for my room. What helped a lot with that is get there a little bit earlier so you can explore the campus, find all your buildings, the fastest path, and the best coffee spots for you. Screenshot your class schedule and save campus maps on your phone. When I started studying, I had my class schedule as my screensaver so that I don't miss a class. I already knew where I had to go. And another way to get around campus is meeting new people who know the way around campus or need to go to the same class as you so that you can find the way together. A question I ask myself a lot, because you see all these what's in my college backpack videos and they have basically everything on them, and you are a little bit confused what you really need and what is just in there because it's in there. I made one of those myself, and I can tell you I only used half of it. So here are your ride or die college items that you really need. A portable charger or a charger in general for your phone, your MacBook, your iPad, your digital devices, because I can tell you they will run out of batteries when you are sitting in class 8 hours a day. A reusable water bottle or your water bottle in general, you need to be hydrated, otherwise you're just gonna be thirsty all day. And if the water bottle is reusable, you just can fill it up with tap water or water in general. Your laptop and charger, I already said that. Something to take your notes on. Headphones saved me a lot during the breaks in between classes, because I'm a person, I love my quiet time and me time, and in between classes when my friend wasn't there, I used this time to listen to music, listen to podcasts, and for the way to college and back. A tote bag or your backpack that fits everything you need, which is kind of obvious, and snacks. Because as I already said, if you're sitting there 8 hours, you want to eat something in between, because otherwise you're hungry, thirsty, and you will not be a pleasure to be around. Trust me with that one. Working while studying is another thing I thought about a lot before going to college. If you can, look for jobs on campus. They're more flexible with your schedules and you don't have to travel a lot because you're already there. And another thing, balancing work and school is tough, but it's doable. Hear it from me, I'm a dual student. It's tough, but you can do it. Plan your week, prioritize your rest, and if it isn't for you, it isn't for you. And I can tell you, your future self will thank you for the experience. And another thing I would recommend is, if you want to get a job while studying, try to get a job in the field you want to be in later, because it already gives you work experience and you already can see if it is for you or not, which is great. When I started college, I needed to switch up my whole routines, my settings. I basically moved while being in college into my own place. My college transfer made it also a little bit harder for me to have set routines, but build a morning routine, because that will give you structure and less chaos in the morning and in general. And try a consistent bedtime. I know it's hard and I know sometimes you want to go out, and I don't say anything about that, but try to get into bed at a certain time every night. I know it's hard, especially when you have long classes, but your body and your head will thank you for that. And always remember, make time for rest, movement, and something you love each week, because otherwise you're gonna burn out and you won't enjoy college if you are just always stressing, never resting, and never doing anything you like. And the last thing I want to tell you is remember that your professors are people too. I know they can be hard sometimes, and I know there are professors that you don't like, but they are people. So email them early and respectfully. They notice that kind of effort and the way you talk to them. Visit their office hours, ask questions. They are not as scary as they seem, and they have those office hours for a reason. And I can tell you some of your professors can help you get internships or recommend you later or help you with deciding where you want to be in general. I had one professor who talked a lot with us about the future and what the job will look like and what he did, what he wanted to do when he was younger and what he already did in his life and why he is a professor now. And he already helps his students a lot because he is a designer and he has a lot of design students which he puts into competitions, and if they win, it's their win. And he does that so that their name gets out there already and they can be proud of their work and they know what they're capable of. And I love that about him because he says he already reached everything he wanted to reach in his life, and now he wants to get the younger generation where he is and wants to help them with that. And that's my little reminder for you. There are good professors. Of course, there are also professors that aren't that nice, but you can handle it. It's just a semester. So to sum it all up, college is a journey. It's messy and exciting and scary and amazing. And believe me, you don't have to get everything right from day one. Just keep showing up, figure out your way through classes. And if you have any more college related questions, you can comment them down below. I will answer that for you. And without further talking, that's the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope I helped you a little bit with knowing what to expect from college. You've got this. You can do it. You can get through college. It's not as hard as it seems. Make someone's day this week and we see us. Bye!
1, 2, 3, funky!